Today we're talking about layering for winter backpacking and hiking. That's next. Welcome to Backcountry Renegade. I'm Jeff. This channel is all about hiking, backpacking, the outdoors, and all the gear in between. And if you're into those things too, consider subscribing. Today we're looking at layering for winter backpacking and hiking. If you're going out in the backcountry, especially in the winter time, it's crucial that you go out with the right kind of clothing because it can be the matter of life and death between these things. The old saying is true that cotton kills, and so when you sweat and it gets wet, those are going to have a really hard time drying. And when it comes to getting in cold temperatures, that can lead to hypothermia. So you definitely want to avoid cotton. What a lot of people will also do is maybe get one big coat and it protects them while they're nice and cold. But if you're moving, exerting a lot of effort, you can overheat pretty easily. So if you take that off, it's nice to actually have more layers. So the best way to actually go is to layer for the weather and layer based on the amount of effort you are exerting. So if you have a lot of body heat, you can have minimal layers, but as you slow down, as you rest, you can have more layers as the temperatures and weather demands. So today I'm going to talk about my layering system that works for me. So let's take a look at it in more detail. All right, starting with the base layer. Base layer is a very important layer that you want to look at. Again, you want to avoid cotton. And so options that you can have is you can have polyester, which dries pretty quick as well. What I like, my preference is actually merino wool. And so this is smart wool technology that I have. We have the base layers. This is 250 smart wool. And then the top is also 250 smart wool top. And so the reason I like this is because one, they're breathable. They also wick moisture very well, and they're antimicrobial to an extent. So let's say you go out and you spend multiple days in your base layers in the backcountry, they're not gonna stink as much as something like polyester would down the road. So these are nice and warm, but they're breathable, and you can also get them in a thinner kind of fabric like a 150 merino wool. Now, one kind of piece of advice, normally what you would do is if you get to the campsite, you're gonna have an extra shirt on that you can put on and change into. One thing you don't want to do is actually let your old one dry that's out, that's all sweaty. Don't leave it out at the campsite and let it dry overnight. Lesson learned, because what can happen is after you invest in this nice merino wool, rats apparently like it, and they can put holes in it as they did mine here. So try to avoid that, especially when you invest in merino wool. It's not cheap stuff, but it's definitely worth it, but make sure you protect it. Don't leave it out of the elements while you're camping to dry it out. So base layers, merino wool is an excellent option for your base layers. All right, so looking at more of a mid layer, I like to use fleece. So right now what I have right here is the Backcountry Foray fleece pants, and these just go over my base layer. And these are nice to use because they're also breathable, they're stretchy, and they're warm. So I enjoy wearing these, and if I am going to be below 30 degrees or so, I usually will wear these. The Foray pants from Backcountry and is my preference when it comes to fleece pants. Now, I also have a fleece top here, and I like experimenting with many different fleece tops. Today I'm using actually a North Face lightweight fleece top, and so it's comfortable. It has pockets, it has a nice collar, and I like the zip as well. So you can go ahead and, let's say, based on if you're overheating or not, you can open the zip and let some hot air out as you go, or if you're getting cold, you can just zip it back up. So I like a full zip, or you can even go a half zip. I go between each ones every now and then, but I do really like those fleece ones, especially the lightweight fleeces, because they are breathable and also warm. So this is what I like for my mid layers, my fleece Backcountry Foray pants, and also my North Face fleece top. All right, so looking at the pants, we have more of an outer layer shell. These are the North Face Summit Series pant here, and I like this pant. It's actually 92% nylon, and then it also has 8% spandex. So it's a stretchy material, but also with the nylon, it's going to block wind and rain as well. And it repels snow pretty decently as well. These also have some vents here at the knees. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and let some hot air out from the pants. You can just open that up with some Velcro and it does a nice job. I've used these for snowshoeing as well, and it does a really nice job repelling the snow. So I like these if I'm encountering wind, rain, or just want something to give me a little extra warmth on an outer layer. These are pretty good. They're also pretty abrasive resistant as well. So pretty good if you're going through twigs and bushwhacking as you go. Now, as far as my mid-layer jacket on the top here, this is actually the Arc'teryx Proton, and this is the jacket that I wear if it's pretty cold outside and I'm moving. And the reason I like that is because this is something that is highly breathable. It's a great layer that is very versatile out in the backcountry. You can see a link in the description here of a video. I did a full review on this, and this is actually really good for mountaineering, for skiing, for snowboarding, and hiking and backpacking. It's just very breathable, versatile material. It has a great fit. You also have a nice hood up here as well that you can go ahead and put on if you get a little extra cold there. And so it's a nice layer, very breathable, and you do have some nice pockets as well. Now, it is a breathable layer. It's an active layer. So if I'm going to be moving, this is what I'd wear. All right, now let's say you encounter some pretty harsh conditions, some cold wind, some heavy snow or rain or anything like that while you're out in the backcountry. It's important to have an outer shell that's going to block those things. So I actually have a Gore-Tex Pro shell. It's very durable, it's real rugged, but it's also lightweight. So this goes over all your other layers that you have to provide a real protective layer over everything else. So it blocks out the wind, blocks out the rain, any kind of harsh weather. This is going to protect you. It's also really abrasion resistant as well. And so this is a great layer that you can have. This is actually the North Face Gore-Tex Pro jacket, and it's a nice jacket. You have a snow skirt in the middle. You actually have some pockets in between to put goggles or gloves, and then you can zip it up real nicely as well, and you have a nice hood as well. So this is my go-to layer of choice, and this will pretty much complete the majority of my winter backpacking layers while I'm out in the backcountry and I'm actually moving. Now, as you work out and you're overheating and different things, you can just take off a layer and give you the right things for the right conditions. Rather than taking off everything and you being too cold or too hot, this is a good layering system that I recommend. Now, let me show you the jacket I like to use when I'm out sitting at camp after I've arrived and I'm not really moving. All right, so the jacket that I like to use to warm up while I'm not really moving or anything like that while I'm at a campsite and stuff is a North Face Summit L3 down hoodie. This is a really great jacket because it's real lightweight. It has the high quality 800 fill down, so it's gonna keep you warm while having a great warmth to weight ratio as well. So you will hardly notice it in your pack. It has a really nice hood as well and some good pockets. You can see a full review of this jacket in this link here. And that's something that really does a good job just keeping you warm, an extra layer to have. It's always better to be safe than sorry while you're out in the backcountry. It's not super breathable like the Proton is, but it does keep in the warmth very nicely, and it's nice and compressible. So as I'm moving, I'll wear the Proton, but as I'm sitting still or let's say doing other things that's not as active, I will wear this jacket, and it goes well with the layering system as well. So you can incorporate this if you're just extra cold as well. You can even throw this over everything, or you can put this underneath your Gore-Tex shell. And so that completes my layering system. All right, a couple other things you'll want to incorporate into your layering system. One is definitely a good pair of socks. I like to wear liner socks underneath, and then I put on these Darn Tough socks. These are great for hiking, backpacking. They have a nice cushion, but they're also merino wool, and so they keep you really warm as well. Now, they make various thicknesses of these. You can even double up if you need to. I always take a minimum of 2 socks just in case one gets wet. I can put on another, or if my feet get extra cold, just put them both on. So definitely take a good pair of merino wool socks, incorporate that in your layering system. Another thing you'll want to do is incorporate a good set of gloves. These are my Smart Wool gloves. I enjoy these. These are 250 Smart Wool gloves, and they're flexible. Then I also have kind of a shell glove or a mitten. I'll go over these as well. So just like you would do with your body, you want to do with your hands and feet with layering as well. So make sure to do that. Also, don't forget to wear a nice hat or beanie to protect your head and ears from the cold as well. So those are some things to keep in mind. So what did you think of my layering system? What are your go-to layers? Leave me a comment in the comment section. If you like what you saw, also make sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more backpacking gear like this. And as always, thanks for watching.